Hello, my dears. This is Annette of AnnetteLeonard.com, back again with Chronic Wellness. Welcome to 2023. My dears, I have many things in store for us this year. I am mapping out some amount of my production schedule. I'm inviting guests to join me over on Instagram Live for a new series that I'm going to be calling Chronic Wellness Conversations. And I'm trying to think about what is relevant in our lives. And so if you'd like to weigh in on topics you'd like to hear me discuss, guests you'd like to hear from, let me know. You can find me at my website, AnnetteLeonard.com, or you can leave me a message in the comments below. As ever, I want to hear from you. I have not dropped a product tip in a while, so I thought that's what I'd start with because the product I'm about to tell you about is what I start my mornings with. And as ever, folks, I don't have any paid sponsors or advertisers or people telling me what I should be telling you about. And if that were ever the case, I would be extremely transparent about that. So I'm not telling you this is what works because somebody else is telling me to tell you this is what works. I'm telling you this is what works because I'm using it. So part of my autoimmune diseases cause me to have what's called polyarthritis. And it is very similar to like a rheumatoid arthritis. And arthritis usually affects bones and or joints. And for me, my wrists, knees, ankles, and hands are most impacted. And when those joints get cold, when they aren't used for any length of time, when my diseases are flared up, when I'm experiencing greater inflammation, all of those things make the pain worse. And the product I'm going to tell you about works for anyone with rheumatoid arthritis, polyarthritis, or even osteoarthritis, which is the kind of arthritis that one gets from just getting old. And okay, I'll be honest, it is not like a miracle worker. It does not subtract arthritis. It does not make it go away. And yet, particularly for small joints, I find that it makes a really big difference. And it wasn't something that I knew about until like a year ago when complaining to my just GP about my arthritis. And she said, Annette, well, you know about Voltaren gel, don't you? And I was like, no. And so entered my life this arthritis cream. So it used to be a prescription called Voltaren, spelled Voltaren. And a few years ago, it became an over-the-counter. And so you can get this on Amazon. You can get this at your local pharmacy. You can get it in generic form. And it is a cream. And it comes out, look how shaky I am today. It comes out kind of clear. And you rub it into wherever it hurts. And as I said, I find that it's most effective on hands, wrists, toes. I use it on my ankles, but honestly, it doesn't penetrate enough there for me to make a big difference. It's got a slight tackiness to it, but not terrible. And the recommendation is that you leave it sit, like do it at a time when you're not going to be washing dishes or washing your hands so that it can absorb and do its best work for 20 to 30 minutes. And you can apply it frequently. And it is an NSAID, a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory. And for people like me who are on blood thinners, there are wide swaths of NSAIDs that we can't take. And the good news is that because this is topical, it does not penetrate deeply enough that it impacts our bloodstream and therefore our blood thinners. And so there's no prohibition against using this and taking blood thinners or some of the other medications that NSAIDs are counterindicated for. So it's really nice in that regard. And as you know, one of the things that brings me joy, draws me out of my funk, helps me process this chronic life is being crafty, knitting, drawing, doing calligraphy with a shaky, shaky hand. And so having this at my disposal, putting it on first thing in the morning, keeping a tube of it in my knitting bag, squirting some into a travel container that I have in my handbag. I mean, I just keep it almost ever in my glove box. Truly, I have tubes or little travel containers that I've created of this sort of all around in my life so that anytime I'm like, ow, I can just put some on. So that is my product tip to tell you about at the start of this new year, if you didn't already know about it. And if you have any tips or tricks or tools that are helping you get by, what do you do first thing in the morning to ensure your success, your comfort, or make your day just a little bit easier? That's what I want to know. All right, sound off. And until we're together again, I'm thinking about you. I hope it's a good start to 2023, that you haven't hit any snags or flares or really rough spots. Be well.